Life can be tricky. We wish we could just go through it smoothly, always doing the right thing, but that's not how things work. We all make mistakes when we're left to ourselves for too long. Stoicism is a philosophy that gives us practical rules to follow in life. The Stoics believed life was complex and tiring, so they made rules to help us stay on the right path and not compromise our high standards. In this video, we'll share 10 important Stoic lessons that every modern man should know. Lesson number 10. Focus on what you can control. Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Let's start with a valuable lesson from Marcus Aurelius that's at the core of Stoic philosophy: control. Have you ever noticed how easily we let outside stuff mess with our mood and how we feel about ourselves? Think about it. Does a terrible traffic jam or a rude customer completely ruin your day when you had good intentions? Or does a partner not paying you enough attention make you feel unimportant? We all have been through those situations. It's super simple to get caught up in a negative mood, but we don't have much control over other people or what happens around us. What we do have control over, though, is our own thoughts and how we react. So, if we apply this Stoic lesson to something like traffic, it means deciding not to lose your cool by honking or cursing non-stop. Instead, you might opt for a relaxing playlist or an audiobook. Or you can use the time to plan your errands or figure out your family's weekly meals in your head. Always remember, it's not the external stuff that controls you. It's you who controls how you react to it. Lesson number 9. Be grateful. Epictetus once said, "He is wise who doesn't grieve for the things he doesn't have, but rejoices for the things he does have." One important lesson from the Stoics that all men should know is the power of gratitude. While they may not have kept gratitude journals, they deeply believed in appreciating the good things in life we often overlook. A surprising Stoic technique to cultivate gratitude is what they called practicing misfortune. This means deliberately experiencing discomfort. For instance, try going a day without food or taking cold showers for a week. Sleeping on the ground while camping can also help. This discomfort toughens you up and prevents you from taking everyday comforts for granted. It also nurtures empathy for those who live this way every day. Another aspect of this technique is imagining misfortune, like losing your job, home, or loved ones. This exercise fosters gratitude for what you have. The most extreme form is contemplating your own death, memento mori. It helps you accept your mortality, live without fear, and appreciate the gift of life. So, remember to be grateful, humble, and virtuous every day. Lesson number 8. Turn obstacles into opportunities. Another important lesson from Stoicism is that our perspective shapes how we perceive and react to life's events. It's like a mental superpower. Imagine obstacles as opportunities for growth instead of burdens. Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "If you are pained by any external thing, it is not this thing that disturbs you, but your own judgment about it, and it is in your power to wipe out this judgment now." This means we can choose how to interpret and respond to challenges. Stoics believed we could train our minds to see the silver lining in any misfortune. So, when life throws curveballs, pause, reflect, and transform setbacks into stepping stones. It's a powerful principle that empowers us to soar rather than stay chained. Lesson number 7. Treat success and failure the same. Marcus Aurelius taught a vital lesson with a simple metaphor: to accept it without arrogance, to let it go with indifference. Imagine yourself as a rock. When life tosses you up or brings you down, you remain unchanged. Just as he went from an ordinary man to emperor and could have been dethroned, it didn't alter who he was. The message is clear. No matter if you succeed or fail, get promoted or fired, win the lottery or face bankruptcy, or experience highs or lows, your core self remains constant. These external events are like passing clouds. They don't define you. This Stoic wisdom reminds men to stay resilient and steady. Proof you are a Stoic strongman by subscribing and discover more indispensable life lessons for men. Lesson number 6. Make beautiful choices. Epictetus once said that true beauty comes from making beautiful choices. He wasn't just talking about how someone looks, but also about their behavior. This idea applies to both physical appearance and how we act. Think about it this way. A person may look stunning on the outside because they're obsessed with their appearance, but if they're self-centered and vain, they'll become less attractive when you get to know them. Similarly, a man might have impressive muscles from using steroids, but if he neglects everything else, it's not really that impressive. As a crucial Stoic lesson for men, always choose the path that challenges you the most in your daily decisions. Opt for the harder option, whether it's walking instead of taking an Uber, having a tough conversation instead of sending an email, or taking responsibility even when it's difficult. These choices reflect your character and define your true beauty. Lesson number 5. Love your fate. The great German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche had a simple idea: for being truly great as a person, it's all about loving your fate. He meant that you should accept everything that happens in your life, whether good or bad, and not wish for it to be different in any way, now or in the future. Bad things happen to everyone, just as Seneca, another Stoic, experienced. Illnesses disrupted his career, an emperor exiled him, and yet he kept fighting back. Most of this was beyond his control, but he decided how to see these events. He chose to see them as opportunities, to make the best of them, and to add his own unique touch to life's challenges. Life is full of ups and downs, and it's up to you how you react. You can either let it burn you or use it to your advantage. Instead of hiding from problems, face them head on and say, "Good, I can handle this." That's the wisdom every man should know. Lesson number 4. Feel empathy for people. One of the most important lessons, something every person should know, is to love others despite their imperfections. The great philosopher Aurelius put it like this: when you wake up, remind yourself that the people you'll encounter may be troublesome, ungrateful, prideful, dishonest, jealous, or grumpy. They act this way because they can't distinguish right from wrong. But remember, just as you've seen the beauty of goodness and the ugliness of evil, these flawed individuals share a common human nature with you. They may not be your family, but they possess a piece of the divine. So, their actions can't truly harm you. Stoics believe we're meant to cooperate like hands and feet or upper and lower teeth. Getting angry or turning away from someone is unnatural and only hinders us from working together harmoniously. Lesson number 3. Focus. 2 common problems plague humanity: overindulgence and lack of focus. Many people wander aimlessly, meddling in others' affairs while appearing busy. In truth, they lack purpose and direction, akin to dogs tethered to a cart, pulled wherever it goes. As Cleanthes observed, this aimlessness enslaves them. To attain true freedom, grasp that life will often divert your attention. Counter this by keeping your goals foremost and minimizing distractions. This lesson, essential in Stoic philosophy, reminds men that mastering self-discipline, maintaining focus, and resisting indulgence led to a life of purpose and genuine freedom. Lesson number 2. You're not entitled to anything. In Stoicism, one essential lesson for everyone is to have goals in life. You pick what you want to achieve, give your best effort, and plan how to get there. But here's the big Stoic truth: you can't control everything, especially the final outcome. Imagine training hard for a sports competition, or spending years writing a book, or preparing to climb a mountain. You might not win, have readers, or reach the summit due to factors beyond your control. like bad weather or unexpected events, like a pandemic. So, Stoics understand that goals and hard work are crucial, but they also know they aren't guaranteed success. It's a tough lesson, but an important one. Lesson number 1: always be present. Stoic philosophers taught 2 important lessons that every man should remember. First, they believed that everything in life follows a repeating pattern. Whether you see the same things happening again in 100 years, 200 years, or even longer, it doesn't really make a difference. Second, they emphasized that the longest-lived people and those who will die soon both lose the same thing, the present moment. That's because the only time we truly have is right now. Anything beyond this moment has already happened or is uncertain. So, as Marcus Aurelius wisely put it, focus on this present instant. Our lives are short, just like a tiny corner of the world, and even the most famous people are remembered briefly by others who, like us, are here for a short time and don't really know themselves or those who came before. Do you want to get more out of life and become a real man? Discover the secrets to the perfect Stoic routine by watching our video about the perfect Stoic night routine.